Hey, howdy, and hello, everybody. Welcome back to Face It League Season 9 Master Division in NA. Today, we have a banger day kicking off the next few days of just absolute banger after banger. But today, I'm looking forward to this game. The Extinction player of new and old, the veterans versus the noobs, new players, not new, whatever. What's up? I'm your host, caster, observer, producer, today, Hyper, joined here with, of course, my good friend, Bald Hyper, and today we'll be jumping into the wicked wild west of Extinction versus Avidity. Whether you're joining on my channel, Hyper the Worst, or the Extinction NA1 channel, thank you so much. It means the world to me. But let's hop right in to this match and what's going down in Funky Town. Both of these teams sitting right now in a pretty okay spot as far as the overall likeness of the season goes. Extinction sitting at number 7 overall at 5-3, and for the side of Avidity, right now sitting number 10, so just 2 spots out of that playoffs contention, but sitting at a crisp 4-4. Avidity losing to the likes of NTMR, Tanuki, Amplify, and Iliad Artemis. Arguably that those being the top 4 teams. Actually, not arguably, they are just the top 4 teams. So they do have some more difficult matches coming up, but still a very reasonable shot at playoffs. And Extinction kind of as well getting a lot of those hard matches out of the way early. Still some more difficult ones to come, I would argue, such as this one. And we still like the triple header of 3 in a row, having another game tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time against Mouse 5 and Monday against Grimoire. So let's hop into the thick of it, shall we? Let's jump into the thick of it. It's going to be map number 1 here, picked by the likes of Extinction. We are headed to Oasis. And on this here very Oasis, it'll be the first ban of the Wrecking Ball. So Extinction not wanting to even play ball. Get it? Play ball with the ball of Pella. So banning it outright. And to match that, it will be the ban of the Jetpack Cat from the likes of Avidity. Solid bans on both sides, really. I'd keep biting my lip, and boy howdy does it hurt. But this is going to be a fantastic match. I think these teams are very well evenly set. And we get the opportunity now to watch them absolutely clobber each other. Of course, I might be a little bit biased because of streaming on the Extinction channel and being a content creator for that said org, but we'll get locked in and we'll get it going here.
Ready for battle.
So as we head to map number 1, Oasis, and picked here by Extinction. Extinction also banning the ball. Avidity responding with a Jetpack Cat ban. Dust and NVM alongside Faruski, Red X, Snowl against McChicken and Noxious against Pella, Regime, and Graveyard. It'll be the TP out from McChicken as this Tracer and just, I mean, this extraordinary backline of Avidity face off against the extraordinary backline of Extinction. Dust gonna be playing the Sigma, and here we're gonna see that first kind of change in style, the difference in style. NVM going down early actually because of the Pella punch, but the Ramatra Brawl being played by this Avidity squad, and that more slow, I say slow in air quotes, comp from the likes of Extinction playing the Sig, but was playing the May. NVM switching over almost immediately over onto the Tracer. And although first cap did go the way of that Avidity squad, it'll be Extinction to bring things right back around. So here are your pros and cons of these compositions, right? You have the better brawl by Avidity. You have the Brig. You have the burst from the Freya. You have the backline pressure from McChicken on the Tracer. And you have Pella, who can just wail on whomever they see fit, while also sustaining a good bit with that block like we saw. Now, Redix being on the Lucio here, not the Cat, means that a bit more tempo control. Pardon, a bit more ability to rotate quicker, but Dust can poke out more and assist Snowell on those off angles, same with Faruski. So that's that hard difference here, as NVM puts the pressure onto Noxious, takes them out to start it off, and is looking for more. McChicken finds that early pulse onto Dust to make things even here, but the other pulse to come through, and the Suzu won't quite land. It'll be Faruski to find a pick onto the likes of Graveyard, but the point will flip here. Faruski makes it out with their life intact, but banger so far, so much back and forth, not just overall, but in the entirety of the fight. And it's just going to be that continuous back and forth, truly. As now we head into the thick of it. Dust to eat the ultimate by Noxious, able to find it. Pella has that ultimate online, but the beat will prompt the hard engage here. The ult comes out from Dust, lifting Pella into the stratosphere, but the follow-up will have to be had. Noxious being looked at on this back line, being pressured, but NVM has to grab the Mega. No recall on yet, but Noxious taken down. Finds the trade, though. In death will not do us part. As Dust getting wailed on, it won't quite be the connection of the bash, but it will be the connection of the whip, especially. Finding so much value is the likes of this Avidity squad. As now we look to go even deeper amongst the match. Dust making a swap here over to the Malga. Now we have seen the Malga against that Ramatra quite often as an often favoring Malga matchup because of a bit more of that self-sustain that is prompted, and we can see why. I mean, Dust just absolutely berating Pella with nothing but bullets and wounds as the stomp comes through. The NVM has the pulse bomb, but with that pick onto Graveyard, Regime soon falls. Pella to have their downfall as well, and once again another swap of the point, and Extinction is back in control. Now, looking at this, not only ult economy of both of these squads, but also just the way that both of these teams are playing, the length of these fights and how long they're lasting. This is going to be one of those games, one of those fights that lasts an eternity. So this very well, most likely going to be the last fight of this first round. Dust playing very aggressive. Armor gets removed. The pulse bomb comes out, but NVM not quite able to make the connection. McChicken putting the pressure onto NVM, excuse me, as Noxious pops the ultimate. Graveyard soon to pop it as well, but Dust incredibly low. The beat coming down from the heavens will land as Redix doesn't quite make the connection on the Dust, but Dust is able to live nonetheless. McChicken will fall via NVM, but now it's all up to Snowell to try and find this pick. The ult from Dust comes out, but the boop is perfect from Redix to force Pella into the cage. The Brig ult will be vital here from Regime, but it's too little, too late. Graveyard befalls via Snowell's rails, and another by Regime as Redix and Faruski clean up, and Extinction bring it back around and find the first round of Oasis. What an electric start. I was half made fun of, half lovingly bashed how much I use the word electric, and but I gotta say it. It's like me the other day saying backflip. Like I just gotta keep when I start saying electric, it just becomes even more electric. Now, we hop to and continue. NVM TPing the squadron out. Switches over to that tracer as the Mauga sticks here. And on the other side, Avidity sticking to this Ramatra composition as well. Oh, Snowball just deleting Noxious though before this fight even really has the chance to kick off. That is the downside of not playing maybe a Soge of your own, right? Is the Freya gives a lot of burst to anybody where those take aim shots can hit. And we know Noxious to hit them. But it's just a matter of kind of getting outranged. Snowball with the rail we know is also one to hit those. And so Dust can just play in the face of Pella like this. Noxious might struggle to have space to work with, but right now we do see McChicken taking out Red X. That's a lot of that slow play forced out, and or rather tempo control forced out. So it either has to be ultra slow or ultra hard engages, and that's how we see Noxious just going for the engage, finding the pick onto Snowball. The rest of Extinction to either kite back or die. And it's going to be Noxious finding this ultimate already online. NVM, Faruski close to it as well. Noxious getting pressured out, and Snowball to find the pick on the Noxious, but Snowball to get pulsed by the likes of McChicken. What an electric pulse! Pella falls low, the stick not quite landing, bashed away as Regime closing in on the ultimate, getting pressured out, alas, still by NVM, but with that carry ultimate coming to an end, it will now be the rally. The bash gets used, Regime sent into the back line, but the ult from Noxious, although making a connection, the beat from Red X is just electric. As NVM finds that pick on the Graveyard, looks to assist in cleaning up here as Pella's ult comes to a finale. Pella will find that pick onto Red X as NVM looks to try and pressure out and keep McChicken at bay. But you can only keep a chicken out of the sky for long, and they can't fly. McChicken has another pulse coming online here, looking for that pressure onto Faruski, but now it's Snowball's turn to look to go aggressive, uses the ultimate, Graveyard down, Pella uses the form, but will the sustain be there? The answer is no, especially not with your Graveyard. Noxious, who made the swap over to the Soge, dives into the backline, not quite able to make the connection, and we have our first team kill as those bells ring out. It's now going to be back out of the frying pan into the fire. McChicken with another pulse alongside NVM, but Graveyard finding that pick on the Snowball from across the map. What a wicked early pick. Faruski closing on another ultimate, almost identical to Graveyard's. Red X peeking their head over here, trying to look for pressure, trying to do a little bit of scouting as well, but Dust in dire need of some distance. The TP is forced here. The stick comes through. The Suzu, though, online. Graveyard has this ultimate to match Faruski's as soon as those heals come alive, and they do. Pella onto the floor, but Regime to fall. Red X closing in on the beat, just playing slow, almost playing for it. So incredibly close, and McChicken knows this, putting every bit of pressure they possibly can onto that. The slam comes through, and it's going to be Snowball who finds Graveyard to keep this fight going. Pella tries to go in that form to stay alive, but Snowball, the pressure is just too much. NVM falls, and NVM befalls Noxious. McChicken to fall, and although Dust does fall, no one else, maybe Graveyard, no, absolutely not. Graveyard not to be able to make it. And it's going to be Extinction taking Oasis, taking map number 1. And might I add, a very electric fashion. Okay, I'm overdoing it. The Dust play of the game. Oh, what a clutch Suzu as well there. Across the board, we see that, like, this is that instance of the Freya, right? We see the Freya. It's got the numbers. Noxious has the damage, but just lacking a bit when it comes to I mean, those final blows, those eliminations. So with Extinction going up now, 1-0, Wrecking Ball ban used map number 1 by the likes of Extinction as well is something to keep in mind, as that leaves a map like Escort open for Avidity, and Avidity having first ban, first map pick here, they could take us somewhere to a like a Circuit Royale. A Dorado would be a perfect example, and ban out something like the Sig or the Diva. And that way they're able to play, whether it be a ball comp, whether it be a Sig comp, whatever their comfort lies there. We know that they do like to play that Dorado, Avidity that is. So it's just a matter of picking your poison to an extent of how do you want to approach this next map against Extinction. Do you want to use the Escort, knowing that the ball has been banned, and get it out of the way and hopefully take a win to tie things up? Or is that something you want Extinction to try and force later on, now that the ball has already been banned and you have that freedom for the rest of the series? We know Pella can play an insane variety of characters, but we also know that Pella is just a strong ball player, one of the best to ever do it, some would argue. Learning everything they have from, of course, that of the great Lily. Is now the teams locking in their bands, locking in their lineups. Of course, important to recognize the likes of Extinction's full lineup here. As Extinction, they're gonna have Santana, Paulette, and Karmas all on the bench sitting waiting to go to be subbed in if they so choose. Now, Avidity, they've got their core and they've stuck with it. And for better or for worse, that is what they are comfortable with. That's what they love. And that is what they'll have to stick with as we head into the next match here. It is going to be indeed taking upon that Escort, and we're taking to Dorado. So I talked about Avidity kind of having a bit of a preference in terms of Escort, and Avidity with their first ban going to be banning out the Mauga. Following that ban, it'll be Extinction to ban out the Wu Yang. So a bit of a even though we do often see a good variety from Extinction in terms of backline, an unsurprising ban, because we also see the same from Regime and Graveyard, especially when that ball comp is in play, or even if it's a poke comp in play, for example. So we will have the likes of Extinction starting out on this ball, on this defense. Extinction on the defense with the likes of Paulette and Santana coming in for Dust and what can well, let me pause the music. There we go.
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
But it will be actually the ball with the jetpack cat coming out. Noxious Regime coming out. Ooh, Regime 5 HP. Monka. Santana gonna be on the Diva here. A nice soft counter, putting the pressure on the Graveyard early on as well, playing so aggressive. And NVM is there for the follow-up after Graveyard's TP gets used. Snowl blows up Noxious in the air as next on the chopping block. Regime just barely able to make their great escape. And the reset now for Avidity, as good luck so far for Extinction on this defense. Being able to play their own game playing the Anakiri. I mean, a very, very strong backline, especially on a map like Dorado, when you have so much versatility in terms of just like a range of motion. Santana, though, in a little over their head, getting taken out of mech by Noxious and co. And now it's going to be NVM on the run, not able to escape. Snowell to go for the death onto point as Paulette does the same. The cleanup is strong from Avidity. Now the rotation around here. Snowell actually making the swap onto the Cassidy off of the Freya. An interesting swap. It does put the likes of McChicken in check just a bit more, maybe even Regime. But you don't have that burst onto Regime or Noxious that maybe you would have with the Freya. So I'm interested to see how that works out. McChicken and NVM, though, both working on their own searches for a pulse bomb. It'll be the sleep midair from the legs of Peruski onto Noxious. NVM being kept up by Paulette. And now the pulse bomb used by McChicken, not quite connecting. Recall forced by NVM as Noxious takes back to the skies. The Curiel getting invested. Nowhere to run from NVM as they will fall. Graveyard popping the ultimate prompts Faruski to nano the likes of Santana. Able to keep them up in that backline to play a bit aggressive as well. And a huge nade on the Noxious will lead to their demise. Santana low, but has that ultimate online to be able to remech. First, he's still trying to keep them up, though. Does get demech, but somebody has to stay on point here. Santana desperately looking for the remech, finds it, and now the mines that come out from Pella, clearing all the mines they possibly can, but careful not to get booped, as Noxious goes for the ultimate, is going to wipe out point as best as they possibly can, but it'll be NVM who finds Pella. Snowell gets traded out here. NVM to find the pulse onto Pella, though, onto Noxious, pardon, will leave. The rest of Extinction taking this fight. Regime exiting stage left. McChicken, another pulse online already. And we're already down to a minute on this clock. NVM giving chase. Being a little cautious. Well, the pulse bomb online, but the information's been given. It'll be Graveyard who gets taken out first. Pulse bomb used, but the Suzu is spot on from Paulette. Paella's engage will find Snowell, but there needs to be more as Noxious finds the grenade onto Paulette, taking them down in a very sweeping fashion. Pella puts a bit of pressure. The sleep just barely missing. Faruski does have this nano online, though, to be able to use onto NVM or onto Santana. Most likely Santana keeping them up on that point, as now Santana goes aggressive into the backline, forces the TP, and still finds Graveyard, shutting them down yet again. Now Santana tries to kite back, getting booped by that extra damage ball perk, though. Oh, no touch in time. Regime gutting it toward that point. But this Cat Bastion composition by Avidity just completely wiped out. I mean, a sweeping first point hold there. Well, huh. It just, the overlay just crashed. Let me fix this real quick. Let's do some fixing, shall we? Now, I am surprised it wasn't a diva banned by the likes of Avidity. But that is just something we'll have to give into a bit here.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Snowell looks for the pick out of spawn, looking for their opportunity. Oh, finds the pick as well. What a shot on the Noxious. Absolutely beautiful. looking for more now. Finds Graveyard too, why don't we? Pella tries to apply some pressure into the back line, but will be unsuccessful in doing so. Absolutely stunning looks from that squad. Looking for more now. NVM on the Tracer. Okay, we're all good now. We should be all set. We should be all caught up and fixed. Regime on the brig. As Pella looks to keep this pressure onto these supports on high ground, but Cart moving still steadfast. Oh, so almost finding the head of McChicken. As now it'll be looking for the head of another. And it will be the ball of Pella to engage onto that back line. And even further, Noxious to find the pick onto Santana. The DMAC Diva getting shut down. But this is a bit of a hold now for the side of Avidity. They've stopped this initial push, this initial snowball that was created by Snowell's Widowmaker opening. And now Snowell onto the Cassidy. But ults online for Avidity. Doing a bit of cross the road dueling. Pulse bomb online by McChicken. Looking for an opportunity. Faruski being that opportunity, but not needing to use the pulse. The perfect slam play by the squad of Pella and McChicken to find NVM too with a nice play. The ult to come through by Paulette, but it'll be NVM who dies first. Faruski still in spawn. It's just Santana and Paulette who try and make their escape. McChicken will go down. Pella gonna try to make sure they can escort themselves out. But being down your McChicken means that NVM has the shot to run wild in the backline here, and Santana can go freely into the backline of their own. Snowell finds the pick onto Noxious alongside the Nano Diva engage. The pulse bomb comes through by NVM, not quite connecting. The mines across Point make it difficult for Point to be pressured, as well as Pella just swinging their way around this high ground. Regime, though, finding that bash kill onto the side of NVM will slow down this roll of Extinction. A minute 15 on the clock. Rally used by Regime. The bash is huge, but the Suzu is bigger. Noxious goes for the ult down main, and it does so much work. As now it'll be cleanup for Avidity. And team, we're in that 1 minute territory once again. Graveyard McChicken still with those ultimates online. Paulette moves over to the cat. Faruski over to this Kiri, pardon. As it Snowell most likely going to be getting the airlift over the top. That's exactly what it's going to be. Looking for anything they can. Going to swoop perhaps into the side room. Not quite able to find anything. The peel. Perfection. Faruski's pick. Even more perfection. The ult from the likes of Graveyard won't be enough to keep themselves up. But the pulse from McChicken not quite able to get one. Santana one. Regime to go down. Santana not able to fall. Is gravely going to discourage another fight engage from Avidity. Even another touch. McChicken has the initial touch. NVM has this pulse soon, but it'll be Graveyard who falls first. Pella, low HP, no armor left in the tank. The recall used by NVM, the pulse on the line, looking to use, hits the stick onto Regime's Lucio. Santana cleaning up McChicken. It's just Pella, but Pella's quickly gone. Noxious tries to find a different angle, but can't even do that in Extinction. On Avidity's map pick. Take it, Dorado, and take us now to match point.
Play of the game.
I think a bit closer than Extinction was comfortable with there, if I had to guess. But that opening from Snowell, those opening Widow picks were nuts. Absolutely nuts. Now, once on that defense, when we saw Avidity switch it up a little bit, not playing that cat bash, and that's when Extinction seemed to struggle just a little bit. So I do have to wonder that maybe Avidity looks for some more counterplay, right? maybe Avidity looks to not play that cat bastion, but instead stick to perhaps a bit of brawl. But that Mauga ban used as well. We know Dust likes to play that Mauga. And although it will once again be map pick here by the squad of Avidity as well as the first ban, it's going to be, it's just going to be a one of those desperate pleas to try and play their advantage. I not desperate in a negative connotation, excuse me, but like if you're Avidity, you want to go somewhere where you think that your compositions that you have practiced have been working and will continue to work. Because if they don't, then things get a little bit difficult. You might start to struggle a bit more. And a lot of teams, they would rather, which is valid, of course, they'd rather stick to a position, stick to a map type, a composition where they know they have seen success rather than make some swaps on the spot. Because you'd rather go to something that you know you're comfortable on than go to something that you have no idea exactly if you can pull off. So as we head to map number 2, it will be the likes of New Queen Street, picked by Avidity. And it will be the first ban of the Cassidy. So Snowell's Cassidy looks to be a bit of a thorn into the side of Avidity. The follow-up ban here, a bit interesting in my opinion. From the likes of Extinction, it's going to be the Mizuki ban. Now, I say that's interesting because if this Extinction squad runs into the likes of another ball comp, no matter what type, I would say, another ball comp of some sort, it is going to be, which it looks like is going to happen. You now don't have the option of that Mizuki to try and assist in shutting down. We aren't too keen on seeing Red X's Mizuki often enough, but what we are seeing here is going to be the Red X cat with the Snowell Bastion. Noxious, though, on the Ash will try and keep that Bastion and cat in check. Santana on the Devo will be able to do the same. Back in the direction of Noxious, though, instantly a bit of an off angle, just a mere instant dive coming through. So Noxious falls, and that leaves Snowell to have a bit of free reign, more so than perhaps otherwise they would have. Pella trying to apply pressure. The chicken doing a little bit of chip in the distance, keeping the attention. As Faruski TP's out. Just looking for an angle to sustain, but keep cart moving. McChicken stuck in enemy territory, taken down by NVM. Pello rolling through cart, finds their graveyard, finds the Mega as well. Wants to try and force out this cat Bastion, who's stuck in this little tiny room. It'll be Red X falling low, but the DM from Santana's good. Snowell, though, taken down in the heat of it. Pella just trying to live, finds the Mega. And with Noxious taking NVM, that's a lot of that backline pressure gone as well. Well, Noxious falling low, Red X putting the pressure on. The entirety of the remaining Extinction members doing that will be McChicken, though, finding Faruski. Red X to fall as well. Santana not committing the ultimate. And just a reset. I mean, that was essentially a fight that just lasted 2 minutes. That was almost the same fight. Because of Avidity's ability to just keep playing the in and out, keep playing that ball to their full advantage. NVM taken down early as well. Pulse used. Pulse bomb used, but the Suzu from Faruski used in kind. 5 ults for Extinction. It'll be Graveyard to initiate with an ultimate of their own as now Regime goes for an ultimate of their own. The stick comes through onto Regime. Regime barely lives, but doesn't survive the follow-up. Snowell takes to the skies once more. Noxious gets a handful of grenade to hand. And I quote from the great Bruno Mars, "I'll catch a grenade for you," as Graveyard catches the paws of Red X, the birthday boy as of yesterday, looking for their opportunity for an ultimate, perhaps to drag someone into place, into Snowell's ultimate, maybe into Santana's bomb, or just to drag someone out of position. Bob online for Noxious could prevent the cart from moving a bit further here. Noxious great at catching balls so far this map. That sounds a lot more odd than I meant it. But either way, you know, you do you. The ult from Snowell comes out, shuts down the engage onto that backline. Cart being stolen now. McChicken close to another ult could shut down the ability for this backline to live. Graveyard forced to TP out, forced to go for a Suzu as well. Bomb used by Santana for the remake. NBM finds McChicken post-pulse usage. Snowell barely being kept alive here. The supports of Extinction doing everything they can and doing a hell of a good job at that as Red X goes deep for this backline, shortly looking for an opportunity of their own. Snowell almost jumping off of the map. The pulse to come through from NVM, not quite finding a pick, but it's Santana who gets booped off the map as Pella slowly dragged down, but gets to live for now, though. Might be able to come back. Nope, won't be. As Snowell finds Noxious, it's just Graveyard left. Snowell finding that pick. This Bastion of Snowell absolutely on fire. The Lego Bastion skin as that. He's just like me for real, for real. Regime, honestly, I could imagine struggling to get more value out of the brig. Pardon the yawning. Struggling to find value out of this brig simply because of the Bastion just keeping them in check. The bombs to clear a lot of those mines and then put them down into the hallway, preventing Noxious from getting any more aggressive temporarily. Dynamite thrown in that backline. Snowell already in the backline. Is now Kitsune used by Faruski. Graveyard has it online, uses it later right down main. But this is a lot of space for free. That's CP and Suzu used by Graveyard. Santana just beelines it onto it, and that'll be the complete shutdown. The DM was beautiful from Santana, even though they didn't even know that was coming. McChicken has the pulse bomb online, won't even have the option to do it. Snowell taking down an entire squad on their own. Finds the picks necessary, finds the space necessary. Pella now making, I say, the first major swap of the map over on to now this ultimate. Santana actually using the bomb Poco style finds Noxious in the backline. Won't be able to have that Bob online for potentially the rest of the fight. Santana getting aggressive into the backline, finding two, looking for more, has the backup to do so, headed straight to the spawn doors. Graveyard going to be taking a look there. Santana wanting that spawn door touch. Pella back on the ball to go for the touch. Noxious wanting that ultimate desperately. Someone has to go for the touch, and it will be the ball of Pella. Red X has the catnap, takes it over onto Pella, who just gets dragged out into the open and murdered. It'll be that Bob sent off course. No one on cart right now, but Regime able to find the D-Mech onto Santana. NVM finds the trade onto McChicken, but with Red X going down, it's not good looks from the likes of Avidity. This is the spawn doors of Avidity. Sorry, for Extinction, as it's the spawn doors for Avidity. They're looking great. The remake almost killing too, but a team kill for Avidity. Reset, go again. What was one fight off of getting full capped is now Avidity. 3 minutes left on the clock and still having a shot. Graveyard is over on this Ana now, sticking to that Ana as well as they have the nano. It'll be that deep engage off on the side, and Noxious just has nowhere to go as Santana assists with the engage. Regime gets nanoed while using the break ult. Regime just walking in. Holy walk. It's Pella to find one off the map, looking for more. Noxious now on the Sombra, looking to come back. Regime will fall as Red X and Santana try to make the great escape. The ante was beautiful from Graveyard. It lands on both Santana, Red X. Red X goes down to the crits of Graveyard. And Santana to find a second onto Graveyard. Graveyard.
Close your eyes.
The sleep from across the map is beautiful. The Suzu will be there. The crit onto NVM keeps them at bay. Noxious is on that Sombra, simply, I believe, to get back into this fight faster. But look at this damage with these crits that Graveyard is doing. Pella has the mines online, looks to go aggressive with them, getting booped around a wee little bit, but it's NVM who not only finds the pulse on the Graveyard, but then Santana to eat McChicken's pulse of their own. Nom nom. The delicious, tasty pulse bomb of a McChicken. Could eat them all day. Pella, although not chicken, is still bird, so Santana chases. The pressure from McChicken on point shut down for a second time this fight. Red X, Santana's now all with ultimates. It'll be Graveyard, though, finding the crit pick onto NVM. Point pressure there from Pella. Red X in the stratosphere, getting pressured out themselves. Noxious struggling a little bit to get some of that damage in, but able to harass the backline a bit is a good sign for Ruski. Playing that Kiri means that once those cooldowns are used, it's so hard to get further value. The Nano online here by Graveyard, but getting dove by that Cat Bastion. It'll be McChicken who falls first, though, via Snowell. Snowell gets hacked midair. The catnap from Red X, but it gets slept by Graveyard. A beautiful play as Graveyard shut down by Santana now, though. Looking for more. That pulse bomb from NVM not quite finding much, but it will be Regime still to fall. 20 seconds left on the clock here. Pella has those... the wowzers. Has the nades, the bombs, the minefield. Uses it across point. McChicken in as well as, but Red X takes down Graveyard. Regime and Noxious to have those ults as well. Noxious with a 4-man AMP. It's a biggin. Snowell's ult shut down. Noxious just trying to live, but Faruski on the off angle finds the pick. It'll be the ult invested by Faruski on what is this potential final fight. The baby Santana able to be kept up. Red X going ham in this backline, finding that Invis Sombra. Noxious one and dead. The mid-air teabag to come through as well. The double mid-air teabag from Red X at the tail end. And Extinction to sweep Avidity 3-0. And a fantastic match from Extinction. Snowell. I don't know why I struggled to say it. Snowell with that play of the game. And just, unfortunately for Avidity, kind of one of those walks in the parks for Extinction. Extinction just having Avidity's number. Being able to shut down that ball composition that Avidity was so keen on. Extinction able to shut it down. I think I said Avidity, but that will do it for the series. And just a nice, fast and easy one, I suppose. Extinction get the rest, recuperate, re-lock in for the next match, and let's see if we can potentially get an interview with any of the Extinction members. But a great match from Extinction, not dropping a single round or point, by the way. 2-0 on Oasis, 1-0 Dorado, New Queen Street 1-0. I mean, technically they didn't cap Dorado. They just didn't let Avidity cap their cap, you know? By the way, I'm just saying, look at that, look at the Leica keychain. Isn't it wicked? It's so wicked. I love it so much. The Stanley sticker goes so well but we do, in fact, have an interview here with Paulette. Let's get things schmoving here. Uh, okay, there we go. All right, we're making progress. We're making progress. Yo, Paulette, what is up?
Hello.
Congratulations on the W, first of all.
Thank you.
If you
Mostly on
want,
my teammates.
I mean, you all just hounded Avidity. You had their number from the get go. It was it was it different playing against the ball? Were you guys prepared to play against the ball comps, knowing that's what Avidity prepared for, or were you guys just kind of focused on your own game? A long week this past week and the upcoming couple of days, a lot of matches. So was there any specific thoughts kind of coming into the game?
Yeah, I think that I mean, of course, having like 4 games in a row, it's really hard because you give the enemy team a lot of time to scout and coach and all of that, right? So we had a really rough game against Tanuki. Like we had a lot to review and talk about, and I think that the main difference today was that we did talk about what we wanted to play against them, but mostly focused on just our strengths as players and on maps and everything that we wanted to do instead of just like countering and focusing on draft to ban the enemy team. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean it really was just it just, I mean, it's hard for me to come up with things to ask about here because it really was just a clean sweep in every sense of the word. I was just talking about how technically, although you guys weren't able to cap Dorado, you also never gave up a point. Going 2-0 on Oasis, technically 1-0 Dorado, and winning New Queen Street, not giving up first cap. So it just great looks from you and the entire squad. I do want to bring up Dorado a bit. That was your map. You having quite an electric map, I would say, especially on that defense. But the attack looking a little scattered, a little all over the place. What are you guys able to kind of take from that kind of situation and kind of move forward with, or is it kind of just it's Avidity, they play weird comps, go next?
Um, I mean, I think it's mostly that Dorado's map that we recently just added to our pool of maps that we are comfortable with. So we don't have too much experience, but we figure out since we have double flex support and we have someone that is like incredible at Widowmaker and never mind really good at like the flanker characters and Santana, we figure out that it would be a really good map. And we've been practicing every now and then. Still a lot of things that we might need to hone and refine, but I think so far it looks good.
I would have to agree. Any map in which you win the map is I would consider a great map. Uh,
Yeah.
so I've talked about this with a few of your teammates now as well. You guys have so much kind of predispositioned energy synergy, excuse me, being whether it be Team Mexico members or playing on teams previously together. How has that helped you in being able to mesh with this team throughout the season and have this? I mean, absolutely legendary, I would say, like rise. Like you guys have had your difficulties against teams like Tanuki, but I mean it's been incredible so far to watch how much you guys have improved just so far. So how does that kind of that synergy play into things, and how does that keep growing?
I think that most more than being teammates, we're mostly friends. We've all interacted with each other in the past, and I think that it really shows how we bounce back even after really bad losses or really bad as even scrims. We do tend to argue. Everyone's really vocal about what they want to do. It's only natural for a player to think that they can carry the game because they're really good. And I think all my teammates are really good, right? But I think that the friendship and like the fact that we're vocal and open about it, honest as well, has really helped us just have a really strong core of players.
Yeah, absolutely. A team that can like respectfully argue with each other and have those types of conversations of what they think is best, and then even come to a conclusion from those arguments, conversations, whatever. And that's just a strong team in general. Like
Yeah.
you're just a strong group of friends, and that it is the power of friendship, I suppose, that it that
Yeah,
assists.
totally.
So
I mean, it's oh, sorry. I
no,
was
no,
gonna
no, go
say it's
ahead.
most likely than if you have ever queued a quick play late night, you probably have run into the extinction stack, just losing every quick play game at like 2 a.m. So that's just how we bond.
And so that makes a lot of sense because I'll be unable to sleep at like 3, 4 a.m. Maybe I'll still be live and I'll see like all the extinction peeps on playing quick play. And
Yeah.
like, okay, whatever. But hell yeah. So you mentioned kind of quick play being one of those things. And I've been hearing word amongst the team of Pokemon being another.
Oh,
Did I just
yeah.
did I just open a can? What did I just open?
I think you just hit. Okay, so everyone on the team is extremely addicted to Pokemon as of right now. That being the video game or the trading card game or just Pokemon overall. I think that everyone, if we're not talking about Pokemon or doing something related, we are scrimming, and if we're not scrimming, we're playing quick play. So we're mostly all day together, at least three or four of us, and that really helps us to like, bring that synergy all together for the matches.
Absolutely. That sounds like such a blast. I'm not a huge Pokemon guy. I've always been keen on it, but my first Pokemon game was Diamond on the DS. I played the heck out of that, and then the next one was Sword. So it left a bad taste in my mouth. But
Yeah, I mean, both absolutely peak.
I will say though, like we were talking about that bonding, that energy that you all have in the synergy as well. It very much so shows being able to not quite be able to hit the marks on a map like Dorado, but still pull through, find the map win. I mean, that's it's insane feat to watch. And then so many of the members as well, not only uh of this team, but of past players from Extinction, helping out in Project Lazarus. That is an amazing thing to do to help the lower tier. I don't know how to say it in a different way, but my
Yeah,
last kind of go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying that it's just a bunch of upcoming players. I think that at least a couple people that I've VOD reviewed think that they have a lot of future. They're really young and they can definitely like eventually get to Master League and maybe like take on more apprentices and just, pass the favor back.
Hell yeah. I couldn't have said it better myself. I was lost with my words, and you hit the mark perfectly. Uh, and so kind of before we end things here, I don't want to keep you too long. I want your thoughts on if you've played it at all in that 6v6 132 quick play hacked mode. Paolo, what are your thoughts on that?
I played it. I thought it was gonna be horrible. I'm a very big fan of 5v5, like the game mode. I did play 6v6, but I think that having like a DPS slash tank, it's like really fun because then you not everyone plays every tank, so maybe you play flex DPS and your hit scan is like I can handle this area, and then they swap. So it's really fun game mode. Maybe we'll see it in the future. That's what I got from the developer notes, that if we like it a lot, it could become the real thing. So we'll see. We'll probably see in a year if that's the case.
Interesting. Gotcha. Uh, and finally, not only do I want it, if you have any words for your future opponents these next couple of days, notably Mouse 5 and Grimoire, uh, but and beyond, as well as any shout outs, anything you want to say to the people, any people you wanna shout out, anything you got.
Yeah, I mean, I got to. We might look like bots sometimes, but wait for playoffs Redx. That's a demon. And then the other one is really, really shout out to everyone for putting in the work after a really bad loss. And also special shout out for Coach Say because they have been immensely helpful with like mental and outside and inside the game and just like overall uh, pleasure to work with. So really big shout out for him.
Well, thank you so much, Paulette, for coming in and talking with me. I won't keep you any longer. Congratulations on the W, and I can't wait for not only tomorrow's games, but for the rest of them.
Yep. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, anytime. Thank you. Have a
Bye
wonderful
bye.
night. Bye.
Thank you.
That was Paulette. Thank you so much for the interview, Paulette. I appreciate that so much. But that's going to do it for the cast. But don't go anywhere, team, because over on my stream, over on the Hyper the Worst channel, we're going to game. We have a long night of gaming ahead of us. Not only am I getting my ass back, well, I'm still in the Extinction. I'm getting my butt back to GM. But we're just gonna have fun, goof off, play some games, come join, come hang out. But keep in mind, tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern time, Extinction versus Mouse 5, same channels, Hyper the Worst, Extinction NA1, as well as Monday, Extinction versus Grimoire. Be there or be square, but also just don't go anywhere. So I will see you all in just a few minutes. We're gonna turn off the delay. I'm gonna use the restroom, and thank you so much for watching so far.